Hey guys, today I am coloring in and drawing Kaveh from Genshin Impact. He's a new character, but he's not like a playable character yet. He's Alhaitham's roommate. So they used to be friends, but they get into so many arguments to the point where they're not really necessarily friends. But I can tell, like in the new um story quest for Alhaitham, that they both technically do care about each other. It's just complicated. um I know from the whole making two guys as roommates thing now, it's gonna be really awkward because a lot of people do ship a lot of male characters together, so especially females. So um I don't know, the fact that miHoYo made it that way, and yeah, I don't think necessarily in the game though they imply that any character is necessarily gay because of like the whole, I want to speak from like a political standpoint. Like Chinese aren't really like super into allowing that to be a thing. But anyways, I don't think they're implying that that's a thing in the game. But a lot of people still ship a lot of different characters together, even though it could just be that they're good friends and stuff like that. Um, I don't agree with the whole Kaya and Diluc debate though, because to me, if you have an adopted sibling, that still counts as a sibling. It's just what it is, like for me. Apparently a lot of people don't really care about that whole thing, but for me it's like siblings, please. So it makes me feel really uncomfortable when I see that a lot of people online are doing like different shippings, and it's like you don't really know the character and what they like so far, especially because it's too early on in the story to be able to tell whether or not characters necessarily like each other in that way, because Genshin Impact doesn't really like focus so much on like those types of relationships, except for the fact that most characters seem to be interested in the traveler. Whether you choose Aether or Lumine doesn't matter, they just seem to be interested in them. But other than that, they never really seem to be super interested. Like, it's never clear whether or not what gender each character is into. So yeah. So Kaveh is super pretty. I wanted to draw him because I drew Alhaitham, and I thought it would be nice to draw both of them since they are roommates and technically friends, you could call them if they're okay with that. His hair is super pretty though. It's like this light blonde, platinum blonde color. So I really wanted to play around with the shading and everything. It's kind of difficult because like I technically only have one color that is like for sure. Like I use the skin color that I use for the white characters that I normally draw. So the same skin color that I use for Kaveh, I actually use that on his hair. I just um brushed it on lighter, so I applied less force on the marker, so that way it comes out lighter than the actual color that it is. And here I am coloring in his feather. His hair does have some orange in it in terms of like those tips that stick out on his sides. I think when I first drew him, like I sketched him out, honestly, I thought it was the worst hair that I drew for the Genshin characters. But looking back at it now, after some fix ups and stuff, it does look better than how I thought it would be. Kaveh took me less time to color in compared to Alhaitham. Alhaitham took me longer because he did have more like black on his outfit. As for like Kaveh, he does have like some parts that are white, so you don't even need to necessarily color them in. All I need to needed to do was shade them in. He has this like really cool neck piece that he wears, and then I really like the high collar effect on his clothing, like his shirt. The most difficult part about his outfit would be like the whole um what is it? These random gold parts on like this black cloth that's on his outfit. It's kind of like a scarf. But yeah, the random gold pieces are really difficult to see the details and like different references. So I kind of just did random shapes that look similar, but it's not 100% accurate. But the detailing is so small, I guess it would be hard to notice. So here I'm just coloring in everything that is gold pieces. There is so much gold on every single Genshin character. It's always the accents are always gold. So I wanted to do that first so that way I just don't forget what's a specific color. I want to say another thing that was difficult to color in or to even draw was the scarf part. Like this piece that I'm coloring the gold on, it was so difficult. I was really like trying to make it wave and at the same time put the pattern on. He has like this detailing on it. The print kind of reminds me of a peacock feather, honestly, but it's just so confusing with all the different colors and stuff. But it's mainly the pattern that was more difficult to put in. I didn't really put a vision in because it's not clear. I don't know. I looked at the references for like screenshots that I took of Kaveh, and honestly, I don't see where his vision is. That might just be me, but some people did draw it next to his belt, so I'm wondering if it's near there. And again, people made him Dendro, but I'm not too sure what exactly his element is supposed to be. Like his vision, a lot of like male characters that are rivals in a way in the game normally have like opposite elements. So because Alhaitham is Dendro, I'm wondering if Kaveh is gonna be something else rather than just be straight up Dendro like him. Also, he had so many layers on like the back part, the different cloths that were hanging, and I got confused on what I even drew in terms of like the left side of him. So it was like, how is this going? Like, which way is the cloth flowing? I don't know what happened because I drew him like the other day, and so after sleeping, I just completely forgot what I was doing for certain parts. And then I'm coloring in his belt. It was like a light blue color, so I decided to color it in first. I was trying to get like I was trying to finish, not get rid of. I was trying to finish the actual like parts that were different colors and then leave the black and white parts of the clothing till the end because I can just color in the black and then I can shade in the white. I do think I made his belt buckle thing, like the U-shaped circle that's on his belt, like in the center, a bit larger than it should have been, but Yeah, I just drew it like that because I did not want to draw any more detail. Honestly, there was so much going on to the point where I was like, this is enough. I actually took his facial expression from a screenshot that I took, except for the smile. He was side glancing at Alhaitham, but in a more unhappy way. But I wanted to make him smile because Kaveh is supposed to be an emotional character. I feel like he would try to be happy, but unless like Alhaitham got on his nerves. I guess they're starting to put more dynamics in that are similar to Kaya and Diluc, but in a sense, not exactly the same because their backgrounds are different. So here I am just coloring in like the black parts. It's kind of like a darker gray, not necessarily like a pure black that I'm using for my markers, but it does look black, so I ended up using that. I need to buy more markers because a lot of them are running out of ink. So if I'm using different grays, it's because I'm trying to make up for the fact that I don't have any more darker markers to work with. I actually like his overall aesthetic. I think out of all of the Sumeru characters, it's Tainari, Kaveh, and Alhaitham in terms of like their aesthetic for clothing that I like. Um, but yeah, I did not get Alhaitham though, so I don't know if I'll get him within this month or if I'm just gonna miss out completely because I got Chi Chi, so it's kind of a bummer. But I still love Chi Chi, so I'm not gonna really complain about her. Kaveh also has these like cool gloves where it reaches to his pinky finger and his ring finger, and then that's it. Like his other three fingers, like his thumb, index, and middle finger, are not covered by the glove. So it's kind of like this cool fingerless glove design that he has going on. Then I'm just coloring in the scarf part. This part was the most difficult part for me, honestly. This one just made me mentally exhausted because I was looking at the patterns and I was trying to figure out how to draw it. Honestly, I was drawing this like closer to nighttime, and so that's why like my mind was kind of zoning out at that point. And, like, even though I sketched in all the different details, sometimes I'm confused on like what details are supposed to be for where, so sometimes it's hard to remember everything that you drew. And now I'm just shading his clothing. Finally, I'm shading in the white part of his clothing. The issue with having this many characters that look so good, though, in terms of art style, is like you want to cosplay as these characters. And looking at Kaveh, I'm like, man, I wish I had his shirt because it looks so nice. But at the same time, like, cosplays are expensive, especially Genshin Impact ones. Even like the cheap ones for Genshin Impact are kind of more on the expensive side. So I would say it's hard to buy all of the ones that you want. And then I'm just shading in like the back of his jackets that's like flowing. And now I'm outlining. I really like how his hair turned out. His outfit is pretty good. I did more of a like cross-armed pose since him and Alhaitham seem to always do that in the game. Like different scenes, they'll just be crossing their arms at each other. And I think for most characters for the Genshin Impact line that I'm drawing, they never really have like a cross arm pose, so I wanted to do that for Kaveh. Then I'm just outlining his face, like his nose and eyes and mouth. And I wanted to outline anything that looked like it was overlapping, even though it was a different color, just so that way it doesn't blend in too much. I know I usually don't outline stuff that's like different colors because you can tell they're different pieces already because they're not the same color. But for a lot of these Genshin Impact drawings, honestly, there's so many layers of clothing, you'd want to outline some portions of them just to get the effect that they're like overlapping each other. Then I'm outlining some parts of like the tassels that he has on his scarf like thing. I like his puffy sleeves. It's something that I normally don't draw for clothing, so it was really fun to draw. Like the effect was cool when I added all the wrinkles and everything. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment in the section down below if you want to request any different characters and stuff like that from any animes or shows. Definitely let me know if you have any requests. I'll look into like drawing different characters and stuff. Um Also, you can check out my description box below. I'll leave all my social media there as always, so that way you guys can see like the different what is it? Different process work that I do, like that I've taken photos of. So far, I'm kind of behind on uploading, but I'm doing my best. And I am outlining the different lines on Kaveh's shirt. He has like this line pattern that's super cool. I got really confused on it for the first part, just because like I was doing this cross arm pose, so it's like going past his arms, like it's behind his arms. So I have to kind of visualize where each line is going, and there's just a whole bunch. Let me know what you guys think I should draw next as well, because I have a whole bunch of ideas I come up with on the spot, but I also want to hear your ideas, like, so that way there's more practice for different characters. That's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!